Welcome back to Behind the Fame, where we uncover the untold stories of Hollywood's most fascinating stars. Today, we're diving deep into the golden age of cinema, where glamour masked ambition and beauty concealed pain. These 13 legends didn't just act in movies, they shaped an entire era. From the blonde bombshell who rewrote Hollywood's rules from a jail cell, to the mysterious recluse who walked away at the height of her fame. We'll meet the rebel who defied Hitler, the perfectionist who terrorized directors, and the goddess who lost everything to dementia. Some transformed from chorus girls to studio heads. Others challenged racial barriers when speaking up meant career suicide. Behind their perfect smiles, these women fought battles that would make modern divas blush, battling studio tyranny, defying social norms, and sometimes their own demons. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our growing Behind the Fame family. Trust me, these stories of darkness and redemption will change how you see your favorite stars forever. Lana Turner, Hollywood's most scandalous sweater girl. Lana Turner burst onto the Hollywood scene in 1937, transforming from an Idaho small-town girl into a box office sensation. Discovered at a Hollywood soda fountain, this platinum blonde bombshell would become MGM's most profitable star of the 1940s, generating over $1 billion in today's money. While her performances in Johnny Eager, 1941, and The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, captivated audiences, Turner's off-screen drama overshadowed her silver screen success. Her 8 marriages to 7 different men kept the tabloids buzzing, but nothing compared to the 1958 scandal that rocked Hollywood. In a shocking turn of events, Turner's teenage daughter Cheryl Crane stabbed her mother's gangster boyfriend, Johnny Stompanato, to death. The sensational trial painted Turner as a tragic figure caught in a web of violence and scandal. The jury ruled it justifiable homicide, but the incident forever marked her legacy. Behind the glamour, Turner battled personal demons, including alcoholism and prescription drug addiction. These struggles often spilled onto movie sets, earning her a reputation as Hollywood's most unreliable leading lady. Despite these challenges, her comeback in Peyton Place, 1957, earned her an Oscar nomination. Today, Lana Turner's legacy represents the dark side of Hollywood stardom, a cautionary tale of fame, scandal, and survival. From sweater girl to film noir femme fatale, she embodied the American dream and its nightmares, never apologizing for living life on her own terms. Barbara Stanwyck, from Brooklyn orphan to Hollywood queen. Barbara Stanwyck, born Ruby Stevens in 1907, fought her way from Brooklyn's orphanages to become Hollywood's highest-paid woman. Orphaned at 4, this street-smart survivor transformed into one of the most versatile actresses of the golden age. Starting as a chorus girl in New York's nightclubs, Stanwyck's breakthrough came in Stella Dallas, 1937, earning her first Oscar nomination. Her commanding presence in Double Indemnity, 1944, and Sorry, Wrong Number, 1948, established her as film noir's ultimate femme fatale. Behind the scenes, Stanwyck's perfectionism earned her a reputation as Hollywood's toughest boss lady. She demanded excellence from everyone, often clashing with directors over script changes and camera angles. One famous incident involved her shutting down production for 3 days until the lighting met her standards. Known for her no-nonsense attitude, Stanwyck refused to play Hollywood's glamour game. She showed up to set without makeup, worked harder than anyone else, and never tolerated lateness. Her 4 marriages, including a turbulent relationship with Robert Taylor, ended in divorce, fueling her tough-as-nails reputation. Today, Barbara Stanwyck's legacy stands as the epitome of Hollywood resilience. From orphan to icon, she proved that talent and determination could conquer anything, even if it meant making some enemies along the way. Lucille Ball, America's original comedy queen, Lucille Ball, revolutionized television comedy while building a business empire that would change Hollywood forever. From rejected showgirl to the first woman to run a major studio, Lucy's journey reshaped entertainment history. Beyond the beloved redhead in I Love Lucy, Few knew the steel-willed businesswoman who fought for creative control in a male-dominated industry. Her perfectionism on set was legendary. Lucy would demand up to 40 takes for a single scene, often reducing crew members to tears with her exacting standards. While audiences adored her slapstick comedy, Lucy's iron grip on production caused constant tension. She famously fired a cameraman for suggesting her angle was unflattering, and once halted production for 3 days over a disagreement about her makeup. "Perfection isn't polite," she'd say, unapologetically defending her demands. Her marriage to Daisy Arnaz became as dramatic off-screen as their show was comedic. Despite their eventual divorce, they built Desilu Productions into a powerhouse, greenlighting iconic series like Star Trek and Mission Impossible. Lucy's legacy extends far beyond the laughs she created. She shattered glass ceilings, dominated ratings for decades, and proved that being difficult was sometimes necessary for achieving greatness. As she once said, "I'm not funny. What I am is brave." For her next evolution, we meet Elizabeth Taylor, whose beauty would captivate the world, but whose scandals would define an era. Think these Hollywood stories are shocking? We're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and join our Behind the Fame family, where we expose the real stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Your daily dose of truth begins with one click. Elizabeth Taylor, the last queen of Hollywood's golden age. Elizabeth Taylor's violet eyes entranced America, but it was her scandalous love life that defined 1950s Hollywood. After child stardom in National Velvet, she evolved into the world's most captivating actress, commanding unprecedented million-dollar salaries. The affair that shocked America began with grief. When Taylor's third husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash, she found comfort with his best friend, Eddie Fisher. The catch? Fisher was married to America's sweetheart, Debbie Reynolds. The ensuing scandal painted Taylor as the ultimate homewrecker, though she famously quipped, "I'm not taking anything away from Debbie Reynolds that she wants." On movie sets, Taylor wielded her power like a weapon. She regularly arrived hours late to Cleopatra, costing the studio millions, yet remained untouchable. Her relationship with Richard Burton during filming created such scandal that the Vatican condemned their erotic vagrancy. Despite 8 marriages and countless controversies, Taylor remained unapologetically herself. She pioneered celebrity activism, raising millions for AIDS research when others stayed silent. Her perfume empire generated billions, proving her business acumen matched her star power. Mae West's sex symbol, who changed Hollywood's rules. Mae West wasn't just Hollywood's original sex symbol. She was its first female rebel. At a time when women were expected to be demure, this Brooklyn bombshell wrote her own scandalous plays and demanded complete creative control over her films. West's signature line, "Come up and see me sometime," became America's favorite invitation. But censors weren't amused. Her 1926 play, Sex, landed her in jail on morality charges. Undeterred, she turned her 10-day sentence into headline gold, quipping to reporters, "I expect it will be the making of me." In Hollywood, West became the highest-paid performer of the 1930s, saving Paramount Pictures from bankruptcy. Her genius lay in outwitting censors with double entendres. "When I'm good, I'm very good, but when I'm bad, I'm better," she'd purr, making audiences blush while censors scratched their heads. On set, West was notorious for rewriting scripts and demanding control over lighting, costumes, and camera angles. She refused to film unless her requirements were met, once shutting down production for a week over a dispute about her gowns. At 85, still performing in Las Vegas, West declared, "I'm like a fine wine. I get better with age." Her fearless approach to sexuality and power opened doors for generations of female performers. Now, let's meet another blonde bombshell who knew her worth, Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow, Hollywood's original platinum blonde. Jean Harlow blazed through Hollywood like a meteor. changing the definition of stardom before her tragic death at 26. MGM's platinum blonde bombshell commanded attention with her raw sexuality and razor-sharp wit, turning Scandal into box office gold. Between takes, Harlow's temper was legendary. She once hurled a telephone at a director who criticized her performance and regularly refused to film unless her demands were met. But her fierce exterior masked deep personal pain. When her second husband, Paul Byrne, died mysteriously, rumors of murder and suicide plagued her career. Despite her bombshell image, Harlow was a gifted comedian. Her performances in Red Dust and Dinner at 8 revealed perfect comic timing. But success came at a price. Studio pressure to maintain her platinum blonde image led to weekly hair treatments with toxic bleach, causing severe burns and headaches. Known for her kindness to crew members, Harlow's tough reputation came from standing up to studio bosses. She fought for better working conditions and fair pay for support staff, once shutting down production until cameramen received overtime pay. Her sudden death in 1937 from kidney failure shocked Hollywood, leading us to Greta Garbo, another star who understood the price of fame, but chose a very different path. Greta Garbo, the star who walked away. "I want to be alone." Garbo's famous line became her life's mantra. Born in Stockholm poverty, Greta Garbo evolved into Hollywood's most mysterious star, turning reclusiveness into an art form that only enhanced her mystique. On set, Garbo's demands were legendary. She required fresh flowers daily in her dressing room and refused to film unless the lighting met her exact specifications. Her Ice Queen persona wasn't just for show. She once stopped mid-scene and walked off when a director dared to raise his voice, causing a $50,000 production delay. Garbo pioneered the power move of refusing interviews and avoiding public appearances. While other stars courted publicity, she declined autographs and dodged photographers. This aloofness drove MGM executives crazy, but made her more valuable. Audiences couldn't get enough of the woman they couldn't reach. At the height of her fame in 1941, Garbo simply walked away. At 36, she turned her back on Hollywood, living the next 5 decades in New York seclusion. She'd occasionally be spotted window shopping in Manhattan, leading newspapers to run headlines like, "Garbo Walks." Speaking of powerful exits, let's discover how Joan Crawford turned her final years into a masterclass of reinvention. Joan Crawford, the ultimate Hollywood survivor. Joan Crawford's transformation from dancing girl to Oscar winner exemplifies old Hollywood's ruthless ambition. Starting as Lucille Ball, she fought her way up MGM's ladder, even letting fans rename her through a magazine contest. Crawford's perfectionism bordered on obsession. She'd demand entire sets be rebuilt if the lighting didn't highlight her cheekbones properly. Her famous feud with Bette Davis during "Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?" wasn't just publicity. Crawford sabotaged Davis's Oscar chances by campaigning against her and offering to accept other nominees' awards in their absence. Behind the makeup, Crawford's controlling nature extended to her home life. Her adopted daughter Christina's memoir, Mommy Dearest, revealed late-night cleaning rages and wire hanger tantrums. When asked about the book, Crawford's longtime rival, Bette Davis, remarked, "I was told she slept with every male star at MGM except Lassie." Despite personal demons, Crawford's business savvy was legendary. She married Pepsi's CEO, joined the board of directors, and became the company's ambassador. Even after her star faded, she maintained her glamour, declaring, "If you want to see the girl next door, go next door." Now let's turn to Bette Davis, Crawford's greatest rival and the woman who dared to challenge Hollywood's beauty standards. Bette Davis, the original queen of mean. Bette Davis dominated Hollywood with her distinctive eyes and take-no-prisoners attitude. While others played nice, Davis built her career by playing difficult women, declaring, "I will not play stupid, simpering females who bat their eyes at some idiot man." Her battles with Warner Brothers became legend. When they sent her bad scripts, she fled to England, prompting a landmark lawsuit. The studio won, But Davis returned with unprecedented creative control. On set, she terrorized directors and co-stars alike, famously declaring, "I'd love to kiss ya, but I just washed my hair to one persistent suitor." Her rivalry with Joan Crawford during Whatever Happened to Baby Jane defined Hollywood feuds. Davis had a Coca-Cola machine installed on set, knowing Crawford's ties to Pepsi. She also allegedly rigged her costume with weights to make dragging Crawford's body more painful during scenes. Despite her reputation, Davis's dedication to craft was unmatched. She shaved her hairline and transformed her appearance for roles when other actresses refused to compromise their glamour. "Until you're known in my profession as a monster, you're not a star," she proclaimed. Speaking of uncompromising stars, let's explore how Katherine Hepburn redefined Hollywood's rules entirely. Think these Hollywood stories are shocking? We're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and join our Behind the Fame family, where we expose the real stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Your daily dose of truth begins with one click. Katherine Hepburn, the woman who wore the pants. Katherine Hepburn defied Hollywood's rules before defiance was fashionable. While other actresses squeezed into gowns, she strode into studios wearing pants, once declaring, "If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun." In an era when studios controlled stars' lives, Hepburn controlled her own destiny. Labeled box office poison in 1938, she bought out her contract and engineered her comeback in the Philadelphia Story. Owning the film rights meant she called the shots. She chose her roles, her directors, and famously, Spencer Tracy as her leading man both on and off screen. Her 26-year romance with Tracy remained Hollywood's best-kept open secret. Though he never left his wife, Hepburn put her career second, secretly caring for him until his death. Yet she refused to attend his funeral, saying, "I'm what's known as a legend. There have to be some standards." On set, Hepburn's perfectionism was notorious. She demanded countless retakes and once dumped a glass of water over a director's head for checking his watch during her scene. Even at 84, shooting on Golden Pond, she insisted on doing her own stunts. Now, let's discover how Marlene Dietrich's defiance took on not just Hollywood, but Nazi Germany. Marlene Dietrich, the star who defied Hitler. Marlene Dietrich transformed from Berlin cabaret singer to international icon through sheer force of will. Her breakthrough in The Blue Angel introduced Hollywood to a new kind of femme fatale, one who controlled her own image with iron determination. On set, Dietrich was infamous for her lighting demands. She understood camera angles better than most cinematographers and wouldn't shoot until every shadow perfectly sculpted her cheekbones. Alfred Hitchcock called her the most demanding star he'd ever directed after she forced 45 retakes of a single scene. But Dietrich's true rebellion came during World War II, when Hitler personally invited her to return as Nazi Germany's leading lady. She not only refused, but became an American citizen and entertained Allied troops on the front lines. The Nazis labeled her a traitor, while she spent her personal fortune supporting Jewish refugees. Her private life was equally revolutionary. Openly bisexual in an intolerant era, she had affairs with both men and women, famously declaring, "In Europe, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We make love with anyone we find attractive." Moving from one rebel to another, let's explore how Dorothy Dandridge fought Hollywood's racial barriers. Dorothy Dandridge breaking Hollywood's color barrier. Dorothy Dandridge shattered Hollywood's glass ceiling as the first African-American woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar. Her rise to stardom in Carmen Jones proved both groundbreaking and heartbreaking in an industry determined to maintain racial barriers. On set of Island in the Sun, Dandridge faced brutal discrimination. The studio received death threats for showing an interracial romance. Hotels refused to let her stay during filming, forcing her to sleep in separate facilities from her white co-stars. Yet, she maintained a fierce professionalism, often saying, "If I were white, I would capture the world." Behind her stunning beauty lay a shrewd mind. Dandridge fought for script changes that challenged stereotypes and refused roles that demeaned African Americans. This principle cost her countless parts, with studios retaliating by offering only stereotypical maid roles. Personal tragedy haunted her success. Her daughter's severe brain damage from medical negligence and a series of abusive relationships led to depression. When she died at 42, she had only $2 in her bank account, yet her legacy opened doors for generations of Black actresses. Moving to another trailblazer, let's explore how Rita Hayworth challenged Hollywood's expectations. Rita Hayworth, Hollywood's love goddess who lost it all. Rita Hayworth epitomized Hollywood glamour while secretly battling demons that would eventually destroy her career. Born Margarita Cancino, studio executives forced her to undergo painful electrolysis to erase her Hispanic heritage, transforming her into America's ultimate love goddess. "Men go to bed with Gilda, but wake up with me," she famously complained, referring to her most iconic role. The gap between her screen persona and reality tormented her. On set, Hayworth's increasing anxiety led to erratic behavior. She'd frequently stop filming, claiming the lighting was wrong, while actually battling panic attacks. Her 5 marriages, including one to Muslim Prince Ali Khan, created international scandals. Yet, it was undiagnosed early-onset Alzheimer's that truly devastated her career. Studio executives mistook her forgetfulness for alcoholism, spreading rumors that she was difficult and unreliable. In her final years, former co-star Glenn Ford secretly supported her financially, while the industry that built her fortune abandoned her. When asked about fame, she bitterly remarked, "They dressed me up like a doll, told me what to say, and turned me into something I wasn't." And that's how these 13 legendary actresses shaped Hollywood's golden age. Through scandal, determination, and sheer force of will. Their stories remind us that behind every iconic image lies a human story of struggle and triumph. Think today's celebrities are controversial? These women were breaking boundaries and making headlines decades before social media existed. They fought the studio system, challenged social norms, and paved the way for future generations. If you're fascinated by these untold stories of Hollywood's greatest stars, don't miss out on our next episode. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. Every week, we're bringing you more shocking revelations and hidden histories from cinema's golden age. From silent film rebels to Oscar-winning icons, we're uncovering the real stories behind the glamour. Join our growing community of classic film enthusiasts and history buffs. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Which Hollywood legend should we feature next? This is Behind the Fame, where legends never fade. See you in our next episode.